Hello and welcome. I'm delighted you're here. In this video, I want to offer my perspective on this momentous shift that's taking place in human consciousness. The shift from what I call separation consciousness to unity consciousness. From the third dimension, you may have heard that reference, to the fifth dimension. And of course, in between is the fourth dimension of transformation. So let's talk a little bit about what each of those dimensions represents or reflects. The third dimension, separation consciousness, reflects a false belief in our separation from source, from God, from all that is. And that belief in separation gives rise to other false beliefs that are very painful. Beliefs in our not enoughness and our vulnerability, beliefs in scarcity and lack and limitation. It gives rise to fear, to condemnation, to blame, to judgment. That whole combination of tendencies arises from this original false premise of being separate from source. And from that level of consciousness, we create a lived experience that includes things such as poverty and crime and war and all kinds of uh, painful circumstances and experiences. And thankfully, we are shifting that. We're in the process of that shift right now. We're shifting from separation consciousness to unity consciousness, which is as far away from separation consciousness perhaps as can be had. And in unity consciousness, we are aware of who we are as individuated expressions of source. We are aware of our creative power. We are aware only of wholeness and fullness and expansion into more. There is no lack or limitation. We are abundant. We are generous. We are endlessly creative. That's what I call heaven on earth. That is where we're headed, and where many of us are living often right now in our day-to-day lives. Now, the transitional stage is the fourth dimension of consciousness, the dimension of transformation. And the hallmark of the fourth dimension is a sense of expanded possibility. We begin to recognize that we are far more than just our physical selves. We are energetic beings, vibrational beings in a vibrational universe. We learn that our consciousness, our perspectives, our thoughts, our beliefs, they shape our actual lived experience. And so that opens up all kinds of new possibilities. Now, what can happen in the fourth dimension of consciousness is that we can kind of drag with us from the third dimension our tendency, our orientation toward judgment, toward fault finding, toward not enoughness. And so even as we feel more empowered in knowing that we can create positive change, we can shift our consciousness, and therefore we can create more desirable experiences, we have a tendency still to judge ourselves for not doing that perfectly, and for not doing that quickly enough, and for not manifesting what we want. We end up reverting to an orientation of self-judgment that then moves us back toward the third dimension rather than keeping us moving toward the fifth. What makes the difference between kind of a cycling around in the fourth dimension from third to fifth and back again, what makes the difference between that and just moving through the fourth to the fifth is love. This dimension of transformation is one that can be led by love. It's about, when we do it with grace and ease, shifting away from the head and into the heart, opening our hearts to ourselves, intending to love ourselves forward, to love ourselves through to unity consciousness. And that very clear intention makes the difference between enjoying the fourth dimension and getting frustrated and feeling like we're stuck. So I'll be talking a lot more about that in future videos, but I wanted to just offer that framework here to give you a sense of what this is all about. And I do intend to share with you ways that you can support yourself more lovingly in moving through the fourth and into this fifth dimension of unity consciousness, where all the good stuff is. So I thank you once again for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time.